Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. So glad to be here this evening and speaking with you about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Jerry Seinfeld has a joke from an album that he gave many years ago, but the joke goes something like this. The number one fear of anyone in the United States is public speaking. The number two fear of anyone in the United States is death. Therefore, what that means is if someone is at a funeral, they would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. I think as Toastmasters, we all know how difficult it can be to give a speech. And many won't even give a cursory thought to the idea of giving a speech once they've gone through the process of trying to write out a speech and memorize it. And I struggled with that for probably years as a Toastmaster, but over those years, I developed an ability to develop a speech that was relatively painless, and it made it much easier to have a speech ready, to have a back pocket speech ready, and develop myself as a Toastmaster. So, what I would like to do is I would like to share this method with you, my fellow Toastmasters, and I would like you to learn how to use this technique yourselves, to make this technique your own, because we always have little things we want to do differently, and I think that's an important part of the process. And more than that, go beyond and teach this to other Toastmasters, any other person that wants to learn public speaking. Be able to share this method with them. Because I've only visited 2 clubs, and both of them are very small clubs, and that means to be a President's Distinguished Club, which is, I know that you want to do that. Everyone has to give a lot of speeches. I would think, probably 1 or 2 a month to really fill up the roster. So let me share with you this method. What I do, and as Anne talked about last week, there's different ways I develop an idea for a speech. And so once I've developed an idea for a speech, I will go ahead and I will take out my phone and I will turn on the recorder and I will start talking. And I will continue on until my recorder very handily lets me know that I've gone for the amount of time I want to go for, which is 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes I go pretty far beyond that, what have you, especially for that first draft. Now, one of the main objections to this method that I'd like to address right away is that people don't want to record themselves doing anything. And I understand that, and I want to make it very clear, and I don't want to be too cursory about making this point. I want to make it very clear that I don't make a recording of myself, of my gestures and things like that of what I'm doing. I'm only recording my voice. I'll put that phone recorder right down on the table. All I can see is the time running, and I can see that it's recording. And so that's an important part of the method. Now, once I have talked through my speech, I will go ahead and I'll probably won't even listen to that first draft because I've already thought of a new way to organize my speech, something else I want to start with, something I want to talk about more, etc. And that's a great beginning. After that, I will maybe put it down and I will maybe come back to it the next day and I will record again. And once I do that, I'll start to listen to the actual recording and I'll start to take notes. And these are talking points. And once I take those notes, I can see how I might want to change things up, reorganize the speech, and that's very helpful. It's a process of discovery. I'm discovering the thing I really want to start with. I'm discovering what the heart of my speech is, what is the most important thing I want to say within the time that I have, so I don't get off stage or off the Zoom speech without saying that. And that makes it much more exciting and satisfying to give the speech. And so I'll put that away and I'll come back again maybe the next day. And I'll spend maybe a half an hour a day on these. And it's amazing how the speech can really develop over 3 or 4 days. And then I'll have something. And it's easy to remember the talking points. I can use all of them, I could use some of them, I can watch the time, and I can watch my audience. Especially, for example, now, once the green light goes on, I know I need to wind back up and say whatever it is I had to say and make sure I say that before my time is up. And I think as Toastmasters, once we've been in this for a while, we know that we can stop what we're talking about, move into another thing, and get that said within those 2 minutes. Table topics is a great training for that. So what I really wanted to say, and with this speech it was important to say at the beginning as well, is that I want you to try this method out for developing a speech, learn it, use it, and be able to share it with other people. Because it's a process that I can learn more and have a better experience. It's a process that we can learn together and have a better experience. It's very difficult to come to a Toastmasters meeting and not have anybody signed up for a speech. So in order to get us above that level, this is a great method to be able to have that back pocket speech ready, or just to have our regular speeches ready. And it makes it more fun for everyone. And that creates an environment where people want to come in and learn, right? Because people want to come in, they want to learn how to publicly speak. And they want to learn with people. And so if I'm learning with you and you're learning with me, we all feel good about the process. And so I hope that you can take that with you. I hope that this method can help you achieve that. And if not, I hope that we can achieve it in just some other way. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And Mr. Toastmaster, please.
Brian, that was awesome. Great job. That is